Welcome to the 2012 Queensland State Election campaign. I'm Qld Politica. I'm going to be taking a look at the traffic for the election campaign on Twitter and social media channels, so why not get started on day one, as we saw the Premier Anna Bligh tell us she was off to Government House to call the 2012 Queensland State Election. This was followed very closely by Campbell Newman, one of his only tweets of the day, mentioning that the election's been called and it will soon be time for a change. Definitely on message. Mind you, this was followed up not too long afterwards by fake Campbell Newman, noting 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go. There was all sorts of conversation around the Queensland votes and Queensland poll hashtags on Twitter. Certainly a question from Scott Driscoll, who's the LNP candidate for Redcliffe, mentioning that the Queensland Premier was all spin and no hula hoop, just lacking the Smart State 1 Peter Beattie's grin during her delivery. To which Peter Beattie responded, 5 weeks to go, it's far too early to judge. After seeing the Governor, Anna Bligh broke with tradition and actually went into Ashgrove, one of the most hotly contested seats this election, to launch not only the Labor campaign, but ultimately Kate Jones, the current sitting member, her campaign. And we got to see an interesting perspective from the current Premier, in that she not only tweeted about what she was doing, but straight away and very quickly after it happened, there was a YouTube link to her press conference, and then also pictures from Queensland Labor account showing the volunteers in Kate Jones's headquarters getting ready to get set up. Of course, the LNP Queensland account had information flying around about what it was doing. It showed the press conference from Campbell Newman and talked about it was getting back on track. Clearly this is going to be a soundbite election, of course, but the link that the LNP Queensland had back to its website showed a little bit of a fail, in that all of the opportunities for people to promote and share their launch message, Google+, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of those things, there was only one like. Not much else. But that's okay, I'm sure they'll get on top of that. Andrew Fraser, deputy, and certainly you have to offer one of Queensland Labor's attack dogs, retweeted or modified a retweet of somebody showing a picture of Campbell Newman at the launch, with a number of candidates and sitting members standing behind him, with the note made that there was only 4 women placed, and they were placed in the middle so they could be seen in shot. There was then some conjecture as to whether or not David Gibson, who was one of the LNP power brokers and involved in the process there, why he was absent, to which he responded that he still has to win his seat of Gympie, so he's taking nothing for granted. He spent the day back there. It's been interesting to see some of the fake accounts and some of the supporting accounts come out. The LNP Insider are very famous now. Some are saying fake accounts, some are saying an inside account legitimately, noting that Sini and Nichols had been kept hidden at the side of Campbell's press conference because they didn't want any, allegedly, correlation drawn as to what would happen if Campbell Newman wasn't successful in his bid to gain the seat of Ashgrove. A couple of the extremely vitriolic LNP supporters weighed in, including Grant Vandersea, suggesting that if the ALP is so confident in seats they consider their birthright, then why threaten businesses that are supporting opponents? There hasn't been any suggestion that that's happened, there's been no proof, but that's certainly the claim at this point. Additionally to that, Bruce Mills, another one, offered that when he saw the first Queensland Labor ad tonight, roses are red, violets are blue, the election has started, and the Queensland Premier, your ads make me spew. Always the charmer. Tim Nichols, another strong LNP MP, and certainly working hard to make sure he gets elected as well. Game on, time to get Queensland back on track. Still very much on message. What I thought was really entertaining was Kevin Rudd was out with Grace on Saturday and helping get her ready and all things ramped up. And in typical Rudd humour, offered that his campaign slogan was Keep Kevin, Kate Jones's is Keep Kate, and Grace's is Keep Grace. Thanks, Kevin. The most important thing, I think, will be what we'll see come out of the media via polls and those sorts of things, and the Goes To Votes offers all the news poll data as it comes to play, and look, at the moment it stands to be a pretty one-sided election result for the LNP. All of the numbers there suggest that the ALP are hard up against it, but this is day 1 of 35. We've got a long way to go. Possibly the best tweet of the day was one from Callum Jones, who pointed out if you've just joined Twitter but dislike politics, it's probably best you don't log in for the next month or so. True words have never been spoken. I'm Qld Politica.